Hi, hope you're doing well. My hair is never going to be good, I'm assuming, but I have a lot of stuff to do today. But we're going to start with something quick, which is, or not quick, but like something I want to get done first because my table is completely a mess right now. And that thing is, I made a new subreddit. So the subreddit is called Be My AI. I've talked about your AI slop bores me a little bit in the past, and this is basically that, but in the Reddit format. So Um, I will now. Oh, so you should be able to see my Reddit right now. So we'll go through that later. Um, I'm not sure where exactly you're being able to see this from. Edge. No, Krita is accidentally showing it. Okay. Why is Krita not being detected as an application? Yeah, here we go. And as for my face, I'm not sure if that's necessary really, but here it is. Now, Um, I've talked about my HDMI, not HDMI, my USB port, and right now, literally every single USB port is being used in some capacity. I'm pretty happy about that. It feels nice. But anyways, as you might have seen, I wanna draw Gypsy Danger, and this is a character that I have not ever like seen before. So I will take a reference and I will pin it here. So you have this reference tool here which I can use. So now this will be here. So I'll just draw this crudely. I'm not trying to be, I'm not really trying to super cleanly draw it, but I'll draw it as well as I can, and hopefully I can also um what do you call it? Why is it acting like this? Acting a bit weird for some reason. Huh. Let me just close and open Krita quickly. So I'm gonna save this, I guess, in my desktop. Sure, that works. And I'll open Krita back up. So yeah, basically the concept is that you go to the subreddit, you ask for a certain whatever, right? It could be basically you post a request and other people fulfill it as if we were an AI, right? So I'm looking at this, right? And I'm seeing, okay, first of all, let me check, take a color. I have a color selector tool right here. I'll take this color, I guess. Bit more saturated, yeah. And then I will just, I wanna draw only the head, I guess, because to be honest, okay, should I draw the whole body? You know what? Sure, why not? So let me just get a crude upper body done first quickly. Here will be a, you know, wait. I'm really bad with, positioning and stuff. Like planning how to do a drawing because very often I will just completely what do you call it, disproportionate those things. Like I will draw it very disproportionately. That's just a negative thing about my drawing capabilities, I guess. Okay, so I wanna take this reference photo and remove it because I got a full body one now. So I'm gonna remove this and paste this one. Yeah. So now I have this one. I should have asked doing what, but anyways, you can draw it like doing anything. Okay. So now what? Now I wanna give it like a cool posture. I guess this is itself is fine, whatever like this posture is. So this is what I was talking about planning, right? This will be the upper body. No, that's already like pretty bad. You see this, right? This is how much it's taking for the legs. So this much is for legs, then this much is for the upper body, around this much for the arms, and then very tiny for the head. So I'll start from here. I'm sorry if you heard that. And I'll keep, slowly um, improving it until I'm happy with it. I have another reference open, another tab which you can't see. But, oh, wait, this is just a better image. So I'll just bring this instead of this one. Yeah, so this is just a much better, much cleaner image. Okay. Let me also. Is there a tab button? Yeah. What is this one? Oh, let me see. There's one button that I don't remember. Oh, it's save. Okay, okay. Anyways, so now I just wanna sort of. First of all, I wanna think of a pose. Is a laying down pose good? Like something like, person just laying down like this. So this will be the upper body. Again, the upper body is like pretty small actually compared to the legs at least. Legs are like half the body of this character. And then this. What would you do with the other hand? Yeah, I guess this works. This. Something like this. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I wanna now slowly um refine this drawing, I guess. Again, I'm not really a person who is super into making fan art, especially. So it's something that I don't have a proper process for. I'm just kind of gonna follow whatever I feel like. So don't. I mean, I would say that more or less all forms of art are like this. You follow your heart and see what comes up and sort of do that, right? But even science, I would say, is very much like that. But um, but it's sort of it's that sort of thing where I'm not super comfortable recommending it to other people because if it doesn't work for it might end up wasting a lot of time. Whereas there is a proven method of, you know, there are like proven methods of going about this sort of thing, learning this sort of thing. You follow a practical whatever and you learn how to do certain things. So I would like, suggest that instead of winging it, as I would say, or like many other people would say. I would say that's how, you know, things start, to be honest. Okay. So the head is something I want to kind of get right because that is like it's a V shape and then this. Okay. Should I turn this? Definitely a V shape on the top like this. And then this. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah. It's not perfect, but you know what? That's fine. Or the arms. Okay. Other than this, as I said, all of my ports are being used, and that's for a reason. The reason being that most of the ports are being actually used for storage related stuff. So after I'm done with this, I will start putting all of my stuff from my computer to my um, hard drives. It's going to be kind of a crude drawing, to be honest, but yeah, I'm sorry if you don't like it, whoever commissioned it or whatever. It's not really commission, it's free, but you know, requested it. How should I go about coloring it is another question, because that is something I'm really like clueless about, how to like color stuff. Um, I did study colors a little bit at some point, but honestly, it's so like it's something that I haven't put as much thought in. I think that's one of the things about the way I like to study anything. Um, look at this. Look how disproportionate everything is. So that's one of the things that's about interesting about the way I like to study, which is either I will no okay, let me see. There is a way to, yeah, so I need to right click. Okay, I got it. So either I will study like everything about any given topic, or I end up not really learning anything about it. So for example, cars I still know very little about, but graphics and RAM, for example, when I had to study them, it just became something that I learned a lot about very quickly, right? Um, so this seems fine to me. Now I'm gonna just delete this one. And wait, what happened? Did I draw over that? Oh my god. Another draw over the same layer incident happened. Okay. Now I'm gonna just sort of make this like a final thing. So I'm gonna leave the head for the last. I'm gonna start with the other stuff first. The head is like proper, I feel head needs a bit more attention than the rest of the body parts. So I'm gonna leave that for the last. Okay. As I was saying, the how does this look again? Okay. Um, what was I talking about? Completely forgot. Oh, well, I think it was something about art or something, but anyways, kind of went into rambling mode, to be honest. So I need to put my stuff from this from my PC to the storage devices, which should be fun. I'll see if my storage devices also need some cleaning up. Usually they don't, but I've been sort of trashing stuff there without any worries. So probably it's gotten a bit messier. It's a bit tilted, but I'm not that mad about it. More than anything, I just want to finish this rather than, not finish it. So this is has to be like a one sitting thing basically. This is such an interesting part. How do I do this side leg? So this is front, right? It goes something like this. Right. I'm gonna keep it simple. And then there is this one. So you can see already I'm not matching anything, but it's fine. This is not the side one. I need to move the. Mhm. Yeah, hope you've been doing well. I've been not working, so that is also part of what. So this will be a long one. I'm hoping. But in this, I will be. Um, look how good this looks, man. Ah. So in this one, I will be doing this, some more, like I'm starting with more menial stuff, um, so that I can at least get some momentum. And then when we are, closer to the end, I will uh, start working on my own stuff, just so that, I get some momentum back from not having worked in so long. So even if I don't do that much in this stream or like this video or whatever, later on, I will be able to do stuff. So this again, I'm sort of crudely gonna do this. This I need to erase a little bit. Okay. Now last is the head. So I'm gonna bring this closer. How do you rotate? Yeah. Oh, can I crop this? That's fine. Just need a. You know what? Let me just take a different photo, which is like close up of the face. Yeah, this is fine. Delete this. Is this? Okay. I need to remove this. Then this. And then this. Done. Does this look good? I don't think so. But well. Um and I'm gonna put some colors quickly. So So now we can. I'm just trying to remember some colors. There's white, red. Oh yeah, there are these like things here. So I'll add these. I'm not sure what these are supposed to be, but whatever. Yeah. So yeah, let me now remove this here. So I wanna give the background like a chill sort of color first. So let's give this a, yeah, this looks fine. Uh let me use this instead. Yeah. Maybe a bit more lighter. I actually probably don't want this much of a contrast, right? Let me just try and okay, so first of all, what I'll do is it what? I removed every color. Okay, so first of all, what I'll do is um can't even do that. Hmm. Let me so what my issue right now is it's very hard for me to see this. That's not a big problem, but I was hoping for a different solution for that. But for now, I think I will use this solution, which is I pick a big brush, get bigger. Actually, this works, right? And then turn on alpha and this, I think. Yeah, and now I can color only this. So I'm gonna make this black and we are done. Now I want another brush. I guess this works. I want it to be a bit smaller though. And now I wanna sort of color this. Or like fill in the colors. So what? Maybe I need three colors. This brush is kind of weird because it's not really it's not really, yeah. This brush is weird. So I'm thinking, what should I do? First of all, let me put this under this so I can do this. The second thing is to make this smaller. Is that fine? Kind of. Okay. So first, I'll just color everything quickly. Then we will go through and see if I want to color every part like separately or something. So this should be some shade of orange or something. And then the face also, I guess I'll leave that. Face also should be like a different shade, right? The face and this uh head here should be like something like a red. I'll just color this right now actually. Because I'm pretty sure I will either forget it or mess it up somehow. Blue. Yeah, this is the problem with like a brush like this. I can try a different brush. What is this? This seems fine, yeah. This seems fine. Although this increases with size a little bit. Maybe I'll use a smaller size itself. Okay. For now, we are just, you know what? Let me just color this as well. So I'm gonna stick with the same shade of, no, wait, I should go with an orange for the chest. That would be better. This is fine? Yeah. Yeah, I think I will quick color everything And then maybe some parts I'll shade a little bit differently. But mostly I'm just gonna keep everything blue. So that's not the best thing because I would have loved to color it more, but as I said, like I wanna finish this and just post it. So head I will color differently. Um, this part, what do you call this? Like a waist or something? Hip bone, something like that. I want to add some gray to some parts. We'll do that as well. So I want to have I'm just counting in my head gray, um, dark blue, and a little bit of white for the arm. There's like a blade in the arm or something. So for that, I do realize that the blade is on the wrong side. So it should be on the left hand. It's on the right hand of this guy. Oh yeah, this also, right? So gray will be actually, yeah. So we want gray to begin with. So I'm gonna put some gray here. I think this is smaller. So this is gray. Some gray here. Some gray here. Here, I guess. I guess this same shade of gray works for this as well. And then a slightly darker shade of blue here. There's like a hood or something. I'm not sure fully, but seems like it's behind it. So darker shade makes more sense. And I guess some shades of gray here as well. These are like some internal parts or whatever. Was there another color that I wanted to add? This is fine. Okay. Now one last thing, which is I wanna first of all uh, combine everything. So I can move it. I guess I wanna change the size a little bit of the 400 seems fine. So the canvas would be 400 in height. Top anchored. Yeah. Export it as a PNG. What's the name again? Gypsy? Let's see how the file looks. I guess only I'll see it. But you can see it in my subreddit. It's so stupid. It looks so bad, but at least I'm done with it. I'm gonna save this and then close. And now you should be able to see my Reddit as well. Let me just quickly share this with you. Yeah. So I believe you can now put images here as well. So I'm gonna put Gypsy here. Actually, I'll add this after my video is uploaded. Yeah, done. I'm happy. Holy shit. Okay, I'm happy. One, because I actually did it, and two, because now I can remove this thing from my lap. This is my graphic tablet. So now this can go, and there's some more space on my table. Okay. So now what are we doing? The biggest uh priority right now is data transfer and cleanup, because my entire what do you call it? My entire PC is full. So I need to quickly do that. So now I want to share my entire screen to you. I haven't done this in a while, have I? Let me add a new thing. Window capture, display capture, yeah. Full window. Oh, there's a full screen already. Yeah. So gonna resize this, and after that you should be able to see this. Yep. Now what happened to my camera? Oh no, that's not good. Oh damn it. What happened? Try again. Okay, okay. Should turn on. It should turn on. There we go. Okay. So as I was saying, this is now, you can see my PC. So these are all temporary stuff. So I can quickly put it in the trial bin. There's nothing here. Okay. If you see weird cuts around these timestamps, it's because I'm an idiot and I keep showing personal information. So I'll be using something to edit them out, but the editor is a bit funky. So sometimes it will inevitably not work fully. Okay, so first thing I wanna see is how much is this? This is 1.6 GB, not that much. Now this I have not been using actually. So I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to delete this? All of these are photos? Yeah, just cat photos. So now take these to somewhere else. This is fine. What is this? Another cat photo? Okay, so this is the first thing. Quick access. Now, let's say I wanna see the desktop. Can I pin this to quick access? Okay, now it's working. This wasn't working for a really long time. So I'm gonna pin all of these downloads. So desktop downloads picture gallery. I don't even know what that is. Maybe not gallery. One pin, please. Thank you. Music, videos. Yeah, that needs to be there. And I think that's it. Rest everything is here, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. Maybe recycle bin, honestly. Recycle bin is actually pretty useful. Okay, so how much is recycle bin? Why is okay? You are not lagging. Only the computer is for whatever reason. There isn't even that much in this, right? Property. How much is this? How much is one? No, no, no. What I wanna see is how much space there is in recycle bin. No more options, properties. Doesn't show it. Um, I guess if I just open it, I can see like this is the entire space. And why is property is not coming up now? It's like 500. It's like a couple of GBs. I'm pretty sure gigabytes. So given that, I think I'm gonna empty this. Empty recycle bin. Yeah. That's not that much anyways. Now I'm gonna quickly go through. So this we do have some. Okay, let me bring this here quickly so that I don't reveal more stuff. But I think yeah. So this is right. We should have 98 GB free, right? So first thing I'm gonna see is what games are installed at the moment. So Riot Games is there. I also wanna see videos directly. So not this, right? So I'm gonna go to videos and see this. How much is this much? So we can take actually one of these videos. I think I haven't uploaded, but that's. Let me quickly check what the video is. Hi. Oh, that's what date is it today? Seven, right? Right. Like craving a pet. So, for 8th of June and Edge. So the 8 GB is not even a thing, right? Which is so I bought why this would I get phone. This? Wait, what? The price just hiked up so much. The I next bought it's so confusing because with you. Okay, I'll upload this. But other than this I have either not uploaded or so this is 26 GB. Do I even want to save this? I mean, I do have like a ton of space. Look at this 133, one entire terabyte. Yeah, I can save it. It's just like it takes a while, right? So first, let's see how much space I actually do have. So this is Legion. This is my SSD if I'm not wrong. And this doesn't have that much space, but this is just a backup. So in theory, I should be able to delete all of it. This is again my other one, and this is just full of games. Like I'm pretty sure most of this is what is taking all the space. So if I yeah, so see this is like 1 TB by itself, just games, right? And it's 2 TBs. So I'm gonna remove this one. I'll just eject it. How do you eject? Is there an eject option? Okay, whatever. And then this one, which is 1 TB. So this is 3 TB, and then this is 2 TB, right? So I have 5 TBs basically. So so in my PC, I have oh my god, I have 26 GB here, and then this should be 19 GB. So I'm gonna cut, paste, copy. Actually, just copy paste this. Let's learn from our mistakes. Copy this, go here, and then I'll make a new folder called folder. Hello, videos, and then paste it. Now, as this is oh, this is pretty fast for 26 GB. It's pretty fast. As this is happening, this is the second thing we wanna paste. And as these two are happening, what is this? Angel Beat. Okay. How much is this actually? I've finished it, so I can delete this. Yeah, so this is 11 GB, so I can delete. Yeah, just checking if I'm forgetting something. Is there anything here? Not really. So let's let these finish. I don't want to show you my Steam, unfortunately. Again, I'm like thinking what all are the sensitive information that I have. This is 4 minutes and this is 5 minutes. So in that time, we will know how much we have. So I'll stop showing my screen. You can still see me, but I'll not show the screen and see what games I installed. It's only Doki Doki and Overwatch. I haven't played Overwatch in a while, so I'm gonna uninstall that as well. 70 GBs. That by itself has cleared up 70 GBs. That's insane. What about Epic Games? I think Epic is the only one left. I don't have that many games, do I? I guess I have like a smaller, many small games. So I have Animal Well, Bully, Celeste, Deltarune, Facade, Her Story, and Your Beast, Lobotomy Corp. Overcooked 2 is a pretty big one. Perception, Saints Row 2, 3, Stardew Valley, Undertale. Holy shit. All of these combined, let's see how much it is. Library. Is there anything installed here? Installed. Nothing is installed. Okay, so Epic Games is clean. There's nothing in Epic Games. all of that, those games combined is 52 gigabytes. That's a pretty reasonable price to be reasonable amount of space, to be honest. Okay, 52 GBs. The copy pasting is halfway done. When did I start sharing my screen? Oh, that's just the notepad being shared. Yeah, right. I forgot. Anyways, so yeah, this is being copy pasted. Um, Other than this, is there anything? So right game, this is Valorant, right? Yeah, this is Valorant. Steam, we have already checked the plan. Haven't played in a while. Other than this, there shouldn't be anything. Right up. This is all small stuff. And just take this. Put it here. Delete this. And then the renaming this. Please, please. Okay. A lot of software I've installed recently, so that might be taking up a decent bunch of space. Is there anything here? Actually, a ton of space probably is also being taken by the past. Yep, these files. So this is 14 gigabytes, and this one is a smaller, but yeah, these are some files that are taking extra space. Application is done how much? 61 minute. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. This is something I do so much, which is just blindly press buttons like without any purpose, just mess up things so much. Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think any of these are now. How much is this? 12 GB. What is 12 GB? All the exports? Ridiculous is nothing. Yes. Oh no. Apparently deleted it. Or at least press deleted, didn't delete anything actually. Is this 4 GB? And then video is the others. Yeah. How much is this again? 12. Yeah, we can move this as well. Um Same place, I suppose. Yeah. So OBS. So these are just videos, right? So you can go here. Which one is done? NVIDIA is done. This is still being. Hmm. This is not my videos, is it? Where is everything? Ah, this can't be. There's no way. Yeah. Yes. Why is everything empty? Wasn't there a lot of stuff right here? Like a little bit ago? Or did I just like delete it or something? Or like put it somewhere specific? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I put it. Okay, okay. My bad, my bad. I got confused for no reason. Okay, so now I can delete this one and then this one. This entire thing I can delete. Yeah. So we delete this one. It's still the folder stays. Okay, that's fine though. How much space do we have? 162. You know what? That's enough. We don't need more than that. So I'll just let the final download copy paste finish, and as it does, let's see what other plans I had or have or whatever. I did this with my thing, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it really, but you can see like there's some pattern here, right? Here as well. So I've created like some patterns here. One of them is a more intricate pattern, but I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see it, both due to the camera being just a crap, but also because the one of the it's not that well carved, so it's not that visible unless you see it like in person. Let me see what are the things that I need to do. So I have to do key permission as well. What date is it today? 9th, I'm assuming. Or is it 8th today? No, it must be 9th, yeah. It's 9th. I've taken all the meds for today as well. Okay. So let's get key permissions done today, tomorrow. Groceries. What are the groceries? So I got the bedsheet, pillow, milk, this. This I guess we need to buy. Trash bags. Rain pants were not available, so we need to get those. Cat food. Okay. So pretty much everything is done. Um clean. Clean, okay, sure, we can do that. Not right now though. I mean, we can do that later. Okay. So this is for tomorrow, I believe, right? So that would be 10th. So key permission, clean table, groceries. When I say grocery, I just mean shopping. Uh, okay, that's it. That's it. Okay. Now a bit more broader work. What I have to do. So this is the logo that I made for my. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but brand, I guess, sort of. So it's still a rough design, but it's basically a heart that is half gem and half like mechanisms, basically mechanical. Okay. So now, um, we wanna do breakdown for interrogation, the demo. The first thing. Then we wanna think of new projects. So new projects, and I'm gonna put a star because we will do it right now. And we need to do it. A lot of things are happening, so we need to do it. Like think about what are the things that I wanna, shuffle between. Personal small project. So I wanna start a personal small project, a game project. I mean a video game project. So I'll be working on it like on my free time or whatever you wanna call it. Um, review old something. Oh God, I wish I had someone who could read my spelling or like my handwriting. Old. It should be review or notes or something like that, but it's not that. I can see that. It kind of looks like it could be stuff, but it's not that either. It's like STI and then D or something or L. And it seems like it ends in ing. God knows. We do need to review old notes, so I'll put that. Review old notes or like revisit or something. Let me see. Review old. I'm so sorry, but this is so annoying. Something like review or breakdowns or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna move past this. Such- Um, so as I said, let's just start with a first project, right? I'm gonna open. Let's open Krita, I suppose. So where's my notes? Yeah. What is why is Tenet here? Is it based on the story idea that I was talking about? Yeah, it is. Okay. Also, let me just put my video on upload while I'm doing this. Videos. Yeah, this one. Buying new phone, I guess. Finalizing buying new phone. One of my friends is streaming, so I'll just go quickly say hi and come back. Okay. For you, that didn't take any time, but I took some time to do my stuff. As I said, catching up with my friend. But now I'm here and I will share with you this. So I've shared this before. This is just how YouTube looks when you want to upload something. So I will upload the video, not the one that I'm recording, because that's also an option for some reason. So finally bought new phone. Samsung M17 LG 4 GB 128 GB. Yeah, that's it. 4 GB RAM storage. Um, yeah, that's it. Ramble, no gameplay. Some working was done, but that's it. Yeah, publish. Cool. So this will take some time, I believe. 56 seconds. Internet is so fast. I cannot believe it. How long? How big is the file actually? 400 MBs, but still 400 MBs in 1 minute. That's really good. I can show you my Tumblr. So Tumblr. Wow. So how do I see my things? Oh yeah, so this is my liked. This is the only thing I've liked because I don't know how to save videos or save posts. So I've just followed and everything this because I don't want to lose this. But look at this. I find this so funny. I find this so funny. I'll read it out for you. So first of all, I'll read the tags, which is creature, science, research, urban fantasy, fantasy, logs, fauna, Scientology, and LGBTQ. Saw another one, different colors this time, very small in size, lighter too. Makes a whirring sound when held. I believe the appendages near the eyes are satellites for sonar detection and seem to be capable of limited motion. As with previous specimens, interact with utmost caution. Extremely dangerous, very sharp fangs and talons, capable of movement, almost inaudible, all being piloted by an extremely unpredictable being showing signs of both great intelligence and stupidity. I love this part so much, by the way, that they can just sneak upon you so easily. There's a really sweet cat called Polka. She is a cat living in our campus and she is really, really sweet. But yeah, I've been using Tumblr a little bit. Still sort of getting the hang of it. I'm not fully sure, how it is, how it works, but yeah. Okay, so now we will go to Krita. I will bring my this thing back. What do you call it? Graphic tablet. And we will look at stuff, I guess. Plan stuff. So one thing is, making a project, right? So I wanna think what all are the types of projects that are sort of that are something that I can do, right? Let me just go a bit closer so I have more. So video game project is the first obvious one. What all is needed in a video game project? So one thing is prerequisites, right? You need to have game engine knowledge. So without game engine knowledge, there are other stuff that you can do, but game engine knowledge is pretty important, right? So without this, what can you do? It's a good question. So first is abstract, which is coming up with the idea, theme, gameplay, anything basically, right? But it is how do I undo? Let me see my buttons quickly. Sort of wanna get re-familiarized with them. Control Alt Z. Is that Control Alt Z? What is Control Alt Z? I guess it should be Control Shift Z. Oh my god, the wrong thing was selected. Lol. Okay. So Control Shift Z. Let me change it, I suppose. Control Alt Z. I think that's kind of weird. Everything else is pretty standard, so I don't think I need to. No, 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 no. But also, just realized, I think because I undid a lot of stuff, you can now see the whole screen and everything. So I'm just gonna go and just turn off everything other than what Valorant, I guess, can stay open. Krita. Okay. So basically coming up with ideas and stuff, right? So let's actually take this a bit back and see what games are made up of, right? What is a game made up of? So first of all, you need a game engine to make the game. This is the big bad, you know, excuse me. This is the big bad of the game making world. This is the thing that you have to defeat basically. So you want visuals. There is audio. There is logic. I suppose these are the three main things that are in some way connected to this, right? So you have visuals which move, right? Then you have audio and you have the logic by which everything functions. So I think the next thing I want to do is sort of get down into what these things are, right? So audio is the most confusing one because it is a specific thing, but it's something that is not fully clear, right? So let us start with visual instead, actually. So the first is static visuals, right? The static visuals being like, a texture on a wall or the player's face, something like that, right? Then there are dynamic, which would be in two, I think. One is hand animated, and the other is engine animated or machine animated. So basically, hand animated means, I have a guy standing here, then I redraw him walking here, or like throwing a punch, something like that, you know. But what I can also do is if I have a 3D model, let's say, right, I can move this model and that becomes an animation, right? So that is also sort of hand animated. Engine animated goes a little bit further, where it is something like a health bar, where a health bar goes down, so it's visually going down as well, right? Something like that. So I think this is two things, right? The main thing that differentiates is this these two is that hand animation, a lot of the people I know can do very easily because they are used to it. Whereas engine animation is something that will have to be taught, right? So that's something we need to keep in mind. So these are the two visuals. Then there is a lot of writing as well, which is sort of put into visuals. I guess there is some things that are missing here, but we'll sort of add those as we go, right? The next is logic, right? So logic basically means, okay, I have these things here, and this is how they connect. So logic, first of all, is to be made abstract, right? So we need to come up with a logic, come up with an idea of, okay, this is how this thing is supposed to work. Then we got to code it, right? In the engine, usually. This is a good chunk of the whole thing. And then that's it, actually. Logic probably isn't that much. The excuse me, the actual coding and everything might take a while, but it is just that, right? This is the basic of it, but games also have a lot of things that are not that obvious. For example, main menu, right? I say this a lot, but the thing is that having this not only is a sign of a competent game maker, but also it is very convenient for the player. They don't feel frustrated at your game, right? So having a main menu, a settings menu, having a save system, right? So how you save and stuff like that. These are things that are also important, and these are things that probably come under this, but not really. So these are like auxiliary, you can say, right? There's another thing which we haven't talked about, which is the theme, right? The theme, the abstract of everything, which is how do things start, right? So this is coming up with the idea of the game, the theme in the sense like the skin of the game, what the story is or whatever, right? Coming up with characters, or I mean, a place can be a character as well, but character and setting basically, right? Actually coming up with the story or the actual letters, words, what do you call it, the sentences, I suppose. I'm not sure how to put it properly, but basically coming up with the actual thing that's going to be shown to the player in the actual writing is the word I was looking for. So these are the things I think that sort of start making a game, right? In terms of how, so different games are different. So for example, some games will be very much level based, right? So you have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, right? Some games instead will be one okay, to be more simple, some games will be the same thing repeating over and over again with some difference. For example, chess is a good example, right? Where you have small differences which change the game entirely, right? So once you've made chess as a basic concept, you don't have to, you know, add levels or anything. It just does its job. Some games will continue in a sense, but they're essentially the same thing over and over again. For example, Candy Crush, right? So Candy Crush is different levels, but you can, I do think they are hand generated levels, but you might as well generate them automatically, like because they are not that different, right? Actually, a better example, so there are two here, right? So these levels are hand generated, and these levels, even there's a difference between these and another one. So let me just put this out first. This one, the automated generator, I'm trying to think an example. Any roguelike works actually, so you can think of a Spelunky or something like that. But I was also thinking of something more simple. Yeah, I think roguelike is the best way to put it, right? Now the difference between this and something like a Call of Duty game where also there are levels is that those levels are individually completely crafted, whereas these, I'm thinking of any platformer, right? Basically, you have a set of tools, and then you have a thing that can basically you can make levels on the go, sort of, right? You have a level creator, so as to say. So that is the difference between these two. In this, once you're done with the mechanics, creating levels becomes easy. Whereas here, each level needs equal attention to detail, right? Whereas usually mechanics here are much less cumbersome to make because, I mean, they're not necessarily, but usually in the past they have been. For example, in Call of Duty, you only have shooting, right? So once you're done with the shooting, every individual level you might have, some specific interaction that's nowhere else in the level, right? Like stealth mechanics or something like that, that's unique to that level. Underwater mechanics, driving mechanics. Whereas the these are usually mechanic, I guess they're also sort of similar because you do add certain mechanics, but usually once you add one mechanic in these games, they will carry on for a few levels. But anyways, I'm sort of getting overboard. So how does a game project typically look like, right? um I'm thinking that the first thing that in my mind is, what about the auxiliary stuff? What about the main menu? What about the settings? Right. And I had a plan for this, which is to create do I have this plan somewhere here? If not, I'll add it right now. So give me a second while I check and confirm. Oh, I now realize the task for today is review sticky notes. Shit. Because these sticky notes I need to evaluate and see like the wording and everything, like, and expand on them a little bit as well. I want to see how it looked like. Did I throw it away already? I have it like compiled here. But shit handwriting. You can barely tell that's sticky. Anyways, I'll drink some water. Well, I think. Sorry, I can see that you heard that. Okay, so these things, right? These basically consist of um review sticky notes and add base kit for games. So basically, my plan was to make something that is the shell of a game. So essentially, you know, you have your mechanics and characters and everything here. This shell is what I wanted to make, which would be, controls the audio, controls the menu, stuff like that, right? And this would, of course, be something very specific to myself. Other people can use it, but I'm not sure they'll be able to. They will really feel like it either, but whatever. Basically, this will have, auxiliary things like a game over screen, end screen, restart the game, save states, for example, stuff like that, right? So yeah, this is something that I want to make. But for now, if I'm making a project, how do we do, right? Because these are the things that are going to take the most amount of space, right? Most amount of time. These things will not take that much time. So I need to be very, thoughtful about that. The other thing is, so this is, we have been talking about video games, right? What other projects can we do? We can do animation. We can do animation, right? So this is I've completely forgot to tell why I'm doing this. So basically, I wanna do collabs with my friends, and this is me trying to figure out what are some of the projects that we can do together. So animation. Um, so how does animation usually go? Well, usually again you have an abstract, right? So abstract will give you the initial story. It will give you the theme. That's it, I guess. This is much more abstract than I was expecting actually, but this basically is something that needs to be done. Like this is something that takes a little bit of time, right? Um, After this, we start on the more final. So let's look at a final animation, right? What it is essentially is moving images, right? Now there are again two ways to do it. One is hand animation, and animation, and the other is more digital animation, I suppose. So both of these are different in some ways. Hand animation is something that I know how to do. So if we were to do something like this, I would learn digital animation, which I wouldn't mind. And the other person can do that as well, right? But what are the things that are here? First of all, static art again. So talking about visuals, right? So this is where visuals is going to be a major category because we have to begin with a static art, which is, let's say, environment, right? So backgrounds, trees, anything like that, right? I said trees, but like basically background encapsulates it more or less. Background and I suppose foreground sort of, which means like there's a fly or there's a bird or something like that. You would put that here because they don't need to be really animated. They are like a static artist still. Then there would be characters, right? Characters is a whole different thing, right? Because you have to, this means that you have to create a character sheet, right? So you have to create a character sheet, which means, you know, the character from different angles, top view, I guess, then different expression. Oh, this changes so much, just the smile. Yeah, but different expression, stuff like that, right? Um, and both of these, so static is pretty simple, but character, depending on the medium you have chosen, depending on the medium that you have chosen, you might need a character puppet, right? Basically, the character that you're making, they need to have, body parts completely shown. For example, let's say we have a character, right? I might want the character's base to be nude and then put clothes over them, right? This works with 3D, for example. Also, I should have mentioned, but this was 2D animation. So I'm gonna put 2D here, right? 2D animation, 3D animation, I feel like there is going to be a major difference in both of them. So character puppets, right? So I can put this cloth on this character on top of this and then animate it alongside. So this is sort of a different thing that can be done. So puppet is something we would need to make, right? At the same time, we have audio, which again plays a much bigger role here than here. It's not like it plays a bigger role necessarily, but it becomes a major part, right? Because if you take, so this is, let's say, this is not correct actually, because I would say audio is a smaller part in games, whether you like it or not. But there's visual and logic, right? This is interaction essentially. So I'll put interaction. If you take this out, this becomes half of the thing, right? So naturally it takes just more, it doesn't take anything more, but it gives more opportunity, it gives has more impact, right? All right, so audio, there are mainly three things. So there is music, right? So either you make this or you find it. There is dialogue, which you usually record, and then there's sound effects, which you usually either record or you find from online sources, and you have to time it, right? So these are the three things. I think that is it. There's coloring as well, but then again, it depends on the type of animation you're doing, right? Um, Let me create on the page first of all. This time I'll be even smaller. And now I wanna redo 2D animation once. So this is 2D animation, right? So we start with abstract, right? Abstract. What should the result of the abstract be? Um, result of the abstract. So we want an art style. So that's the first thing. We want a theme. So what is the theme we are going for, right? Theme could be anything. Theme could be something as simple as fun, but it should be well defined. I'll put more definitions here, but for now, let's just put theme, and then theme should lead into a story, right? What is the story that we're telling? For now, I'm putting this much. Maybe I'll go back and add more stuff. Now here we are putting visual. So visual can go into two directions, right? So one is hand animation. So what does hand animation demand? There's a lot of space. Nice, nice, nice. So what does hand animation demand? This will be then a process of, okay, so let me go back and continue the way I started first, which is static visuals, right? We have static visuals, which means background, foreground, background and foreground elements. This could be other elements as well. For example, if there's a motif on the cloth or something like that. But these are the static elements, basically. Things that don't move every time, right? You just use them like stickers, basically. Uh, is there anything else in static? I can't really think of anything. Then there is characters, which will probably be the biggest thing, right? Oh, sorry if you heard that. So characters. Start with a character sheet or whatever. So what does a character sheet itself have? Well, it has poses. So three poses, usually side view, front view, back view. Then expressions. Again, this is not something necessarily I want, but this is something that a person would expect, right? And this is, I think, something that helps in general. If you have a character, like I don't usually do this if I'm creating a animation, but I haven't done animation that intense anyways that much. So I think it is something that would help. So this is something that's, all of these are like adjustable basically. So poses, expressions, I would say, like, if for example you're trying to follow this for some reason, do these, like, this is something that I'm thinking that would help the person, right? But only do any of these steps if you think that this is going to help you. What's the time? Do I need to order food? Not really. Okay. I have cereal if I want to eat something late night. I have cup noodles as well. So expressions, what else? Clothes, outfits. So this is it, I suppose, right? There's not much more than this. So this is our character. Characters, I guess. What else? I guess that's it actually, right? Now this is just one part of it, right? Because this is not actually animated yet. Now we start from, okay, so I suppose what actually should be happening is this should come later. I'll just move this down. This much should be fine. If it's not, we'll go back. So what should happen is before visual, we need a story, right? Again, this is me figuring out as well with you, right? What is the actual things that we need? So that's fine if we go back and forth, right? So this is coming from this, and this should be actually a screenplay, but yeah. So now visual starts with a storyboard, right? So storyboard is the entire, like, basically scenes, but in one picture. One scene is one picture, right? So a storyboard probably goes through two refinements. Then we go to an animatic. Animatic is basically a better storyboard, right? Actually, if the storyboard is done, now we can have this backup, because the animatic, right? So animatic is being done at the same time as these. So this is a back and forth thing, right? You look at the characters, you update the animatic, but you're not waiting on the animatic. Like, you're not waiting for the characters to be fully finished to make the animatic. So you're sort of starting as the characters are being created still, right? So this is like a even back and forth process. Uh, yeah. So this much is here. Once this is done, so once this process is done, right, we put the background in the background, we refine the animation. So basically, finalize animation. So at this point, animation has been line drawings, right? So we finalize the line drawings, then we color question mark, because color is not something that necessarily we will have, and that's it, right? So this is the visual part of it anyways. um Let me recreate this. Actually, you know what, we have other stuff to do, so let's continue. Now we have audio. Let me zoom in more. So audio, what does audio have? As I said, there are three things in my mind. There's music, which is probably the simplest one. So music we want to find and just put it there, right? Then there is dialogue. Dialogue we record a lot of the time. The dialogue will not be a thing because you will just not have people talking. And then the last is um sound effects, SFX, right? So this sort of mixes in with editing. This is recording, and this is finding, right? So these are the three things. Finalizing animation, colors. Let's go back here, right? So what is the abstract to? So from the abstract, this is the start of the discussion. We want a screenplay, right? This is a rough screenplay. Before this must come. So the way I'm thinking is like, okay, there's one scene that is, or one theme that I want to explore, right? So let's say there are three events that happened, right? Events. I want to come to these three events. This could be anything. This could be a cool shot or something like that. So how do I go from here to here to here, right? So of course, I think here to here is easier because you just add stuff that you know mixes around it. But how do you come with this? I guess that's it. Like let's keep it at that, which is from abstract. We wanna give three events that happen, or like two events, or some events that happen, right? So art style is one, of course, but then after that, from theme. So we discuss on the theme. What do we wanna portray or whatever. Then the story is basically three events, right? Three things that happen basically. Okay, let me tighten this up a bit. Actually, should I do 3D first before I start doing this? Because the thing is that 3D is going to be somewhat similar, right? The only difference is that in 3D you can do much more animation compared to 2D because you can move things much more easily. Like everything is computer generated, right? So I think we start with the same idea of abstract, right? So abstract to um so abstract will first give us art style. I say first, what I mean is like at some point, abstract, one of the things that it outputs is the art style. Then the second, we start with the theme. We and we have a three act structure, I guess. It's not really a three act structure, but whatever. So we land on this, and then we take this and upgrade it to a screenplay, right? I'm saying screenplay in a more loose term. Once this is done, we bring this back, and this becomes our base for the next things that are going to happen, which is it becomes a storyboard first. Storyboard. Now, here is where I think 3D differentiates with 2D a lot, right? Which is you're not going to an animatic after this, right? Even if you are, it's a very different type of animatic. For this animatic, for example, like from a storyboard, let's say even if you um even if you hand draw an animatic here, right, you're not going further than that. After this, you have to use your character. So From here we become, so this is sets. The first thing is sets. The second thing becomes puppets, right? Now instead of characters, I'm calling them puppets. And then what? That's it. I guess like effects is becomes a thing because you can't really draw them anymore. So effects becomes a thing, right? So for example, a smoke effect or a blur effect, something like that. So these will be the things now. So sets basically means, again, uh, you know, assets, materials, blocking, and lighting. So these are the four things that I think the sets create. These are I'm coming up on the top of my head. There's no rule or anything, so don't feel like you have to follow this. Puppets. Puppets are again, I think, a character sheet. So this is a 2D character sheet. Let me just specify that 2D character sheet. This leads to, now these are ads. This leads to, actually let me put it here. This leads to a rough puppet, right? Um, then the rough puppet leads to, actually I have to do this. So we first do a rough puppet, which leads to refined model, which leads to a rigged model. I think maybe this is a recursive process where you keep going and keep changing stuff, right? With this, you also have materials, you also have physics, maybe, because this is also moving. Maybe here some physics, possibly physics. I'm especially thinking about body physics, which like simulates muscles and stuff. Not necessary to do it, but like could be something we do. Um, then we have textures. Textures is something that I suppose here as well we could put. Where is it? Textures. I just went into a train of thought completely. Okay. So textures, rigged model, and basically this gives us the final model, right? To use final model. What now? Effects is something I'm not very sure how this will go, but I'm thinking like planning and using effects. I'm just gonna keep it like this because I don't know that much, honestly. After all of this is done, so this was our visuals basically, right? But we are still not even done. Like this is the preamp to the visuals. This is the set that we're creating essentially, right? Um, so these three become our visual sort of, I suppose. After this, we do motion. So now we start actually animating things, and this is much easier than before, but it's still something we have to do, right? So we plan each shot and we animate, which just means animate. There's nothing more to it, I don't think. All right. Okay. This is also something that rigging is something that is pretty important that I've sort of just glossed over, but we'll deal with it later. So motion, now we just animate, right? Animate, probably light as well. individual, like not individual, but like lighting that is specific to certain scenes is sometimes necessary. Um, this is where effects will also come, right? Effects. And after that is done, yeah, we just and then the sound thing, basically the whole thing is copy pasted. There's no difference. So audio is the same as 2D. So yeah, I think that's it. One thing I've not mentioned is like a render, but like that's just the amount of time that it takes for the film to be rendered. That's it. There's not much to that. So yeah, this looks pretty clean to be honest. What next? Do I wanna take this and make a spreadsheet out of this? Or because I think that is something that will be helpful. Or do I wanna not even a spreadsheet, I mean a checklist. Basically what I mean is, do I wanna make this into a workflow, right? Or do I wanna do the same for video games or something like that? Because video games is such a much more complex thing to do, right? Making a prototype in a video game is so much more easier than making the entire game, because in movies, like the end product is there's a you know moving image and there's sound with it. That's it, right? The internal process, as complicated as it might be, the end product is that. Because in a game, the end product could be so many different things, right? It's technically a program that when you press button does something, but the does something is such a vague thing. And not to mention that the main menu, the prerequisites that we don't really consider that much in animation and stuff become so much more important in games. So that's on the whole another thing. Okay, like taking a step back, what are the other projects, right? So these are the projects for a game, for sorry, this was for a game we'll revisit again. Let me actually name these notes as well before I forget. So what is this? So this is just a mess, I'm pretty sure. I'll just leave it alone. um this is just me talking about my history. SCP tail. Okay. Tail. 100 days. I know I put 200 days. Should I fix it? It doesn't matter, but whatever. Where is this? This is just empty. Okay. This is video game project. Then this is, why do you keep pressing this? This is animation breakdown. This should be breakdown, not project. The second, this one. Okay. And nothing else. Cool, cool, cool. The story is something that I'm not sure of, right? We wanna limit it to a chapter, right? We want, I mean, limit it to a number of chapters or a number of words or something like that, right? We wanna do a characters and stuff like that. But I don't know the whole process of storytelling. I'm also getting tired, so I think I'll call this here, right? One last thing I wanna do, because I think it should be easy, is quickly go through and finalize this. So again, what I want to do is just sort of write here 2D animation, right? So 2D animation. So we start with the abstract. Again, this is like just tentative, I think throughout the process, for example, if I'm working with someone, I am much more than open to changing all of these. But I think it's important to start with something, like suggest something like this is what I think we should do. Because I felt like not having any suggestion, like any course of action, that is what kills any momentum in the first place, right? Hmm. Next time we'll sit, I'll also come up with actual solid concrete. These basically, I'll come up with abstract essentially, right? Theme which leads to a story. So I'll put quotations around a story and then explain it somewhere. Story. So I'll put this somewhere in the footnote. Wow. Oh, forgot to put quotations. Should I just share this video to people? It just occurred to me like this would be just as simple. Uh, I also just realized I've plenty of times said, "Oh, I'll put timestamps so if you want to skip, spoilers or something," and then completely forgot. Okay, the story 2 to 3 events. It leads to a screenplay. I need to write this properly. Other people will be reading this. Why am I making the box first? Screenplay. So this again, I think will be same between these two, right? Now we start visuals. I'm just like seeing that this. Oh, can I turn on grids or something? So grid, okay. Can I change the grid? How do I change the grid? Grid. Surely there's like a grid or something. How do you change grid? Uh, hmm. It's like a very annoying thing to be stuck at. I'm just looking it up. Change grid size Krita. There's an entire Docker for just grids. I mean, that's what it said. I shouldn't have listened to the AI thing. I'm pretty sure there's a fat chance it was wrong. Docker grids and that's okay. Where is it? 200 maybe? Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So we were looking at visuals. So visuals for 2D, right? We first start with, so we need a storyboard here. Sorry, we need a screenplay here. So now we go to visuals. What is this? A storyboard? storyboard. At some point, we'll also need to put some time sort of things, right? Um, so first is a storyboard. Maybe this goes one more time. So storyboard version 2. And then this becomes, I guess I can do it like just right here. We have plenty of space. This becomes an animatic. At this point, we are not thinking of any change, right? Now, from here, once we have the animatic, actually, yeah, version 2. Wait. So I messed up here, but that's fine. So now we were gonna do three things sort of simultaneously, which is we're gonna create static elements. Static. We are gonna create character sheet. Character sheet. And we are gonna create that's it. Animatic, right. Right. And these sort of feed into each other, right? Mainly into the animatic. The idea is that at the end of all of this, you want a rough animation. A rough animation. Then the rough animation itself has cleanup. Color. Is that it? I guess, yeah. Yeah. Any effects, I guess. VFX. VFX. Now, the next is audio. So for audio, we need animatic. So once I mean, technically storyboard is also fine, but animatic is better. From then, because animatic is the final timing. So from then, the audio is music. Which we have to find or make, I suppose, if someone is interested into making music. Then dialogue. This is record. And then SFX. Finding is easy usually, but find or record, edit. Because editing the SFX does take a good chunk of time, especially if they're not very clear. So this is for 2D. For 3D, what do we want to do? I think we just copy paste some of the stuff, right? I'm gonna put 3D here. 3D animation. I'm gonna put this. We copy paste this. Yeah. And we copy paste this as well. Ooh. Can I first move this a bit down? It's too close to this. Ah, okay. Yeah. So this and then copy paste it right here. And now, first of all, I wanna merge this. And now we wanna do the same for 3D, which is visuals. This was a lot, like much more bigger. So I think here there's no point of a storyboard 2, right? So we go to visuals, and instead of a storyboard 2, okay, wait. So first of all, we need a screenplay here. Screenplay, right? Once we have the screenplay, we can start on the visuals. Visuals lead to what? Storyboard. This is our storyboard. Now here, uh, I think directly we jump into um, creating our stuff. So we create our static. Okay. I'm refreshing the wrong thing. So we create our sets, right? Then we create our puppets. And we effects we just leave, I guess, for now, right? Yeah. So we create our sets. Also, let me just move this. Or like cut this, I guess. We can move it like freely. Okay. So now sets. So what is a set made of? We will take assets. You did not see that. Find or make. Then we have materials. Then we have, what is this? Blocking, lighting. Blocking and lighting. This is why I'm rewriting everything. Blocking, lighting, physics. I think any effects that we want to add, we have to add them a little bit later on, right? So I think effects can come here. Effects. So this can be three things. So it's either hand animated 2D. Actually, hand animated is fine. So hand animated effects. It could be procedural. Procedural. It's not the AI type of procedural, by the way. I know most of you probably already knew that. Procedural. I feel like the spelling is wrong for some reason. And the last is VFX. So this happens later in editing basically. Now puppets. So puppets is first we want a 2D character sheet. So this is a basic 2D character sheet. From here, we wanna model, rig, and textures. So model being like the 3D components basically. Rig is something technical. Essentially is the puppet's joints, if you wanna put it like that. So these combine with each other to give us um final model. Final model. And that's it. Yeah. Then we have motion. Motion. Oh my god. I want to put a line between this motion. So this means animating, as stupid as the sound, that is what it is. Lighting. Animating lighting. Then VFX. Then render. And at last we can bring back this. I'll turn this off and turn off grids. What is the shortcut? Control Shift this. Yeah. So this looks pretty cool, pretty nice. I wanna join this now. I guess. Okay, I'm fine with this. I'm happy with this. We need to do the same for video games as well, which will be hell, honestly. Okay. Ah, these people uploaded. Okay. I'll be back in a second. Okay, what I'm trying to do is see if I can order food through my computer. It's pretty late. I'm not sure if anyone will even be available for ordering, but A, I'm curious, but also B, I think um I think if there is someone available, I would like what is it? Excuse me. It's not working, I guess. I'm not sure why. This is taking longer than I was expecting. How long has it been? 1:55, 1 hour and 55 minutes. Wow. I also need to remember to remove that one from the airport tickets and everything. It's an airport ticket that I accidentally showed. Okay. Okay. Uh, I haven't even started working on my thing. Should I or not end it here today? Mm, okay. I will end it here, but only so that I don't play any games or anything. Tomorrow I will continue this, even if it's on my own. But yeah, thanks for the company. It was really nice. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything has been good with you, and hope you have a great day. And yeah, see you guys soon. Thanks again for sticking around. Yeah, bye bye.